Hey, welcome to the Nick and Nick podcast. This podcast is sponsored by Royalty Roofing and Siding.
Hey.
Crown your home and your commercial property, then wrap it with Royalty. Excited for the podcast today.
Yeah.
Special guest. We're in the community at No More Empty Pots with the president, and CEO, Talia McGill.
Oh, man.
President and CEO of No More Empty Pots. Thanks for joining us.
Again.
Why?
You said my name wrong. Talia McGill.
Okay.
Strong name.
Did I get the president and CEO?
Correct.
Well, that's what matters,
That
right?
is my job.
Okay. But you weren't always the president and CEO.
I was not. No.
First of all, thank you for joining us on the podcast. Really appreciate it. It's a cooker in here, but this is going to be fun.
It is.
I remember the first time I met you, which was about a month ago. You gave me a tour of this facility, the Food Hub, on 30th and Florence, right?
Yep.
And I said, our introduction was, after hearing your voice, I know you can sing.
That's right, because I had just woken up. It was rough. First meeting of the day, and he's like, oh, I got you.
So do you want to start the podcast off with a song?
Yeah, sure. What song?
You let them know, because do you sing? Because I want to get into you personally.
Well, you're definitely going to hear about that because my band is performing at one of our events.
Which one?
Upcoming. At the Garden Walk.
Okay, and we'll tell our audience about that shortly.
Yes,
at the end of the podcast, we'll get into the events, but your band, live band, will be performing.
Yep.
And I'm assuming you are the vocals, lead vocal?
I am the lead vocalist.
What else do you do?
We tell jokes sometimes in the middle of the set.
Okay.
Occasionally I'll have a shaker egg, but usually that goes away.
Excuse me?
A shaker egg, like a
Okay, like a tambourine?
The tambourine is too distracting.
Okay.
We learned that in like our second show. We're
Okay.
like, oh yeah, that's two. Take them to church. Shaker eggs are appropriate for crowd engagement.
Okay.
But yeah, so you're right. A lot of personal things for me.
Yeah.
Tying me to this space. Music is one of them.
Okay.
Wellness and fitness is the other thing that I do when I'm not here.
Yeah.
So,
What's the name of your band?
Deuce Buck Chuck.
Bless your heart. Explain that before we even get into it.
Oh, it's a really, really long story about how my
Hold on. Deuce
Buck
Chuck.
So it's a play on a phrase that I heard from some old lady friends of mine about a $2 chuck or really cheap wine.
I know what
that
$2 chuck is.
Tastes good.
Okay.
And so my partner and I, we met in Vegas actually, learned that we went to high school together, but we bonded over what should have been a $2 chuck. It was a $47 bottle of Barefoot. It was horrible. But we were in Vegas.
Okay.
So we laughed. And
Couldn't
said,
find $2 chuck.
Should have been
Vegas.
a $2 chuck. And it's stuck ever since. And now we have a mascot. His name is Woody Thickums. He is a woodchuck that lives under our shed in the backyard.
For real?
For real.
Okay.
So it was meant to be.
So we got $2 chuck. Or no, we got Deuce Buck Chuck. And who's the groundhog or whatever you said?
Woody Thickums.
Woody Thickums. That's a big boy. Sounds like he's a big boy.
He's huge. We recently got cameras on our garage, and I was like, what is that? And it was definitely a woodchuck.
Okay.
We named him.
So we'll be talking about your band a little bit later because they'll be featured in one of the events that you're hosting in August, right?
Yes.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah.
How you got involved with No More Empty Pots.
Yes.
I don't think you started out as a president and CEO.
I
You
did
kind of
not.
worked your way.
I did.
Then this is where we are today. So why don't you bring us up to speed?
Yeah. So I am born and raised in Omaha. I'm
North or south? West?
Well, lived in South Omaha most of my life, but went to a lot of different schools all around the area.
Okay.
North, south, west, east. Graduated high school from North High. Go Vikings.
Okay.
Got my undergrad at UNO.
Oh, so you're local.
Oh, I'm local. Goodrich scholar, and then went to Bellevue for my master's.
Okay. In what?
Marketing.
Okay.
Yeah. My first job was at KB Toy Store at Crossroads Mall.
Now you're going way back.
Oh yeah, and that's where I learned. I really like helping people find what they need. It didn't pay for crap, so like there's no commission in it. You really just had to do it because you liked that.
Right.
And that's kind of how I got into business and marketing.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna run KB Toys because I was moving up real fast, and then they went bankrupt.
Oh snap!
Yeah.
As pretty much, I mean, at the crossroads, right? I mean, that's no longer there.
Yes.
But KB Toy Stores, I mean, that's a great start.
It
How
was.
had that set you up for what you're doing now in terms of putting you on the right path?
100%. So in that job, you have to learn how to talk and deal with a lot of different people.
Right.
Being that I was a manager at 16, there was also that
Excuse me?
Power shift.
A manager of KB Toy Store at 16 at the
right.
Crossroads Mall.
At the
You
Crossroads
were balling,
Mall.
dog,
I
at
was
16?
balling. I was doing road trips out to Nebraska Crossing and Lincoln in my hoopty, doing store checks.
That's like a road trip.
Oh, yeah.
Nowadays, it's just like a down the street.
And now you know why I was like, oh, I can do this. Like, I
Right.
could be, but you just really learn how to deal with all different kinds of people, especially at Crossroads Mall. It was a bus station depot, so
yeah.
you get a mix of everything,
Yep.
college students, all kinds of things. And they all come with different desires, different needs. Half of them don't need toys, but they want them.
Right.
So you're like trying to figure out how to help people get what they need. And then also you saw a lot of people who couldn't afford it.
Right.
So how do you, see that kid that needs a toy and
Right.
find a way within your legal means as the manager at 16
make it happen.
to make something happen
Right.
for that family. And so I think that part of me kind of carried on through every job that I had since then. Up until now.
Literally at the crossroads of Omaha,
Yes.
making a difference at 16 years of age.
Yep.
That's pretty impressive.
So long ago.
Okay, so then what's the next step in your progression?
So then, college happened, got my undergrad. I moved away because I was like everybody else, got to get out of Omaha.
Right.
My family's from the East Coast, so I moved to Virginia Beach for a little bit to be closer to family. But it was just a hard time for jobs. Then I tucked my tail, I came home. And then I was working for a relocation company,
Okay.
NEI Global, part of MP Dodge. Really cool place. Got to work under some really great leaders who really showed me like what does it mean to navigate like relationships on a different level. And after that, I worked at Caesars Entertainment.
Oh, I thought you said Little Caesars, like Little Caesars Pizza.
no $5 meal deal.
What's Caesars Entertainment?
Caesars Entertainment is the casino.
Oh, okay.
Here, Horseshoe,
Okay,
Harrah's.
across the river.
And it's not very known that inside there, in the depths of the building, there is a regional marketing office, and they are responsible for all the coupons that go
In
into the
Council
slot
Bluffs,
machine.
Iowa?
Council Bluffs runs half the company.
Wow.
Yeah, so a lot of the marketing came out of there. And as fresh out of college with business degree,
Yeah.
specialization in marketing, you're like, yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. What I learned how to do with that job, spreadsheets.
Oh, no.
Spreadsheets and programming, database programming.
Okay.
It's not what you think.
All about the
it
numbers.
is. But it was really cool because I use that in this job all the time. I mean, you'd
Okay.
be surprised what a spreadsheet can solve
Okay.
when you know you can do that from scratch.
Yeah, the numbers
So-
don't lie, right? They tell the truth.
They tell
point
the
the
truth,
direction.
but they also can simplify processes, organize information. Sometimes it's not even about numbers, and it really is just about setting up things that are automated for people.
Okay.
Just like fill in the blue box, and then the work is done.
Okay.
So I bring that also to this role. It's just how do you make things easier for others
Yeah.
with low tech tools.
Sure.
I mean, I would consider a spreadsheet in today's
Yep.
age a low tech tool because I truly believe you still got to know how to do the work behind the work.
Yeah, but if you can
So-
streamline it and make it more efficient
you can
and more
streamline it,
effective
yes.
and more excellent, why not?
And we're not doing it on stone tablets.
Right, we ain't doing
But-
that. We ain't doing that.
But so I did that for a little while, and then I got a chance to meet the founder of No More Empty Pots.
Okay.
As this building that we're sitting in was being constructed.
Wow. So you've been here since the ground. Was this the first location?
Yes. So prior to this building being purchased, No More Empty Pots kind of function ad hoc and like libraries, community centers. It rented an office for a little while in another part of North Omaha, and then this building and two buildings over. Those two buildings were purchased.
Wow.
And so we actually have three facilities. We have our community education office, formerly our administrative office. And really cool thing about that right now is we have a partnership with Goodwill Youth Build.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar, but basically they're taking young adults and teaching them construction skills.
Yes.
So we have exchanged culinary lessons
Wow.
for construction. We just need a little facelift in there. So they're doing some
Collaborating.
drywall, doing
Yeah.
some painting.
Okay.
So that becomes no longer an administrative office, but another educational space.
I got to back
that
up
we
for a
have
second,
to
can I?
Yeah,
The founder, I mean, we're at the fruit of what
Oh, yeah.
the vision
totally.
that she's had, the dream she's had in her head. Where did all this come from in terms of what's her name? How has she been able to take something I'm sure that's been in her head, that lived in her dream system for years and years and years or whatever, and it's actually turning it into a product that we're able to provide services to the community? Can we go back and talk a little bit about that?
Totally. Nancy Williams, totally visionary. What I would say is, I think in her upbringing and academic life, very heavy in ag background.
Ag, okay,
Yep,
so that's where the
ag and tech. She is like the best of the brains between ag and tech.
okay.
So her academic background includes agriculture. Her lived experience included agriculture, and she came from Boys and Girls Club as their chief tech officer. And she's just a parent in the community and was gathering in other community spaces. And one of those gatherings led to a conversation about what is needed in North Omaha. What do the people want to see? What are they looking for? And they ended up having a summit. And through that summit, they discovered obviously food access, huge part of, a need in North Omaha, but not just access to food, access to good food, access to growing food, paired with, even if we have that, there's some other economical needs, right? People need living wage jobs, they need skill development.
Sure.
And so how can we both solve this food problem, but also bring some economic development
some
to the individuals? Yeah. And so the idea from that summit with the other community members is that we need something like a food hub. There have been studies across the country, other places where something like this works. And so the food hub concept really, whether it is a physical space or in theory, is something that represents all the parts of the food system in one. So here in this space, we go from engagement with the producer or the farmer, so the thing that's being grown, whether we get it from them or we grow it ourselves, to
all local.
All local.
Wow.
I mean, we use some non-local products, but we prioritize local products, which I think makes us really unique. Because when we're thinking economically, when we pour into the local farmers and the producers, that's helping them as well. And so it really is a systemic picture here.
Yeah.
So you got the producers, the farmers, or food growing and food growing skills, then processing. So, whether that's preserving or cooking or turning it into something else, reusing it, and that's getting it to people. So is that retail? Is it through a cafe? Is it through a market?
Right.
Is it direct to door? Is it getting it to other vendors? So business to business. And then skills around that. So do they want to own their own restaurant? Do they want to work in a restaurant? Do they need just better skills to feed themselves, feed them families? So we teach education around that. And then, of course, the disposal. So you can even see right over there, we work with Hillside Solutions. So that is composting, that's recycling, repurposing, donating, any way you can. So all those things happening in one space is kind of the food hub concept. And that's how it was born. And they broke ground.
When did you come into the mix?
I came into the mix in August of 2017.
When did it start?
So this building, the two buildings got purchased in 2015.
Oh, wow.
They finished the first level of this building in 2016. And it really hadn't started being occupied until probably April of 2017.
Oh,
so
wow.
Really early on. My first day at work, I got to give a tour. And it was so great. What I love about Nancy, she's like, you don't need me to tell you anything. You got it. I'm like, I just got here. I don't even actually know what this is. And my first role was in communication. So, as the marketing person, it's like, you got to figure it out. And this was all gutted. Everything that you see right here, all gutted. These orange poles actually divided two buildings. So 8501 and 8503.
Okay.
So we're actually sitting in two bays. And I just had to tell people, picture this.
Right.
I know you can't see it right now because it's dirt and cement, but there's going to be this over here and this over there. And all of this I learned from some pictures we had, of some renderings. And I will tell you, in concept, those things are here, but they don't look anything like the renderings. So I was way off in my first couple tours, but the intent behind what do the spaces do, what purpose do they exist for, all of that truly came to fruition. And so very grateful for Nancy, our founder, for all those community members who, thought something like this was really important.
For those out there that haven't had the opportunity to tour the food hub, can you kind of walk us through it verbally? What all happens here, why it's the food hub, what happens in the hub, and then how does that project itself into the community?
100%. So the Food Hub is a 3-story, over 100-year-old
And it's
building.
legit. This thing's legit. You gave me a
It's
tour
big.
and I was blown away. The quality of the build out, the purpose that it serves, it's beautiful.
Yeah, everything was designed very intentionally. Even this wood that you're looking at behind us, that was reclaimed wood from barns in Nebraska.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So in this space, I'll start on the bottom level because that was where the magic started happening first, is our commercial kitchen. So we've got 2 commercial kitchens downstairs. The purpose of those twofold. One for, well, really 3. One for teaching, so we can do education classes out of there, cooking demos. The second purpose would be for rental. So we know from that summit and from ongoing engagement in the community that there is a forever surging need for people who want to start food businesses.
Yeah.
One thing that we learned really early is, one, opening a restaurant is really expensive. So the overhead, when you're just starting and you're not even really sure, if this is going to be the thing for you as an entrepreneur, is really hard. It takes a lot of capital. And so a lot of underserved community members have a really hard time jumping straight from idea to brick and mortar.
Yeah.
So our commercial kitchens can serve as a type of incubation space.
Yeah, startup.
Yep, the startup space. And so we work with new and up and coming businesses.
Can you name drop? Can you give us some people that maybe they started incubating here and now the progression of their...
Huge.
Yeah.
So I can talk about our first couple renters. We had Miss Velma. She is a neighbor from the community who was making these sweet potato pies.
Hold up.
They're so good.
Velma Mackey.
Velma Mackey.
Come on, somebody.
You know?
Oh,
You
yeah.
know.
I've been knowing Velma.
Yes, yes. Yes.
Shout out Velma.
Yes, Suzanne's sweet potato pies. So she started in our kitchens through a competition that we were doing, actually, a pitch competition with Wells Fargo. And it was really cool because, and again, my first week of work was so wild. There were people knocking on the doors looking for pies.
Wow.
And I'm like looking through my notes, like, do we make pies? And they were like, no, dear. They're looking for Miss Velma's pies. I was like, okay, who is that? And I became very close with Miss Velma over the years. But what's cool is the progression. When I got here, she was just doing a couple pies at a time.
Right.
And then she started leveraging some of the equipment. So we have a 40-gallon Hobart mixer. So now she's mass producing pies. And then
Hy-Vee.
And then she got in Hy-Vee. And I was like, yay. I remember she was like, can you help me make a Facebook post? I was like, yes. We need to tell the world. So even my family, right, they go to Hy-Vee to look for her pies. So that's just one example.
That's awesome.
Another really cool example is Shelly Elson-Rolson. She was here with a company that she started called Major Help in the beginning, her and her husband. And they were working out of our smallest kitchen. They're a catering company, and they just grew and grew and grew and grew. And now Shelly runs Heirloom Fine Foods, which you can find down at Millwork Commons. They have a market that you can purchase things from with fresh food that comes out of there. And then they also have a dinner spot just off of 72nd and Dodge. But they're doing tremendous. They cater for the Joslyn. They're just doing so many big things.
Here.
And they started in the tiniest kitchen that we have. And what's really cool is she gives back too. So she will help mentor the entrepreneurs that we have. She will do caterings for us if we request. And she is very in tune with the farm to table concept. So she's an advocate for purchasing local, purchasing fresh. Huge business. Shout out to Shelly. And there's so many more. I think about Alicia Steed. Her company is called Busy Vegan. She was just a mom and wanted her kids to eat better, and she just started making vegan food. There's no real vegan food in North Omaha consistently, and so she's now got a meal prep service. I saw last week she won Best of Omaha, which was really cool, and she's starting to do bigger and bigger catering. So those are just a couple of examples. I could go on for days.
How fulfilling is that for you and your team to see people that started here, started from the bottom, now they here?
I mean, I think it's really cool. We didn't do it; they did it.
But you empowered, enabled, you contributed, you gave them opportunity.
Correct.
That without this being here,
doors.
no more empty pots being here, they wouldn't be where they are today.
We just opened those doors, and I think that's part of what we want to see for the community, right? We know that there are a lot of resources out there. We give resources, people need resources, but I feel like what we try to look at is how do we help people be self-sufficient and independent?
Right.
So sure, maybe we're giving them this kitchen space at a subsidized cost now, but can we help them understand what is the full cost of what do they need to save to get their own space? What skills do they need to have in the kitchen to be efficient? So Alicia's a great example. She came wanting to get in the kitchens, and we actually put her through our certified culinary program because we're like, you're in there all day.
Right.
You got to get more efficient with these knife skills. You got to learn how to use this equipment, because really the money that you're earning won't be profit if you can't, get some of those indirect costs down, right? That we don't think about. So even sometimes that's the path to take, is get some more formal training with culinary and then get back into the kitchen so that you can do your business better. So we see those examples too.
That's awesome. So we're just on the basement floor, right? We just got the commercial kitchen that is use it for rent, or people rent it out, and then
use it for rent. We do education, and then lastly, we have these spaces. Another part of community need often happens is crisis. So I talk about this because I don't know what we would have been doing during COVID if we didn't have these kitchens. But if you remember, the refrigerators and food in the stores was just gone, depleted, and people were off work. And so you've got people at home, not being able to eat because they're not working, so they don't have money, and it was this cycle. And so with our commercial kitchens, one of the things that I'm really proud of that we were able to do during COVID is emergency food response. So what that looked like was all of us changing roles, and from sunup to sundown, we are procuring meals, we are cooking the meals, prepping the meals, packaging them, getting them out the door, working with our partners to distribute. We're working with the farmers to get more fresh food and meats and things in, because they aren't big enough to get into the box stores, but they've got food.
Accessible.
And people were needing food. And so that's one other way that we use those kitchens in an emergency situation, where we can make large batches of things to help support a crisis. So
it would have been even better if you guys could have made large batches of toilet paper.
There is a company that does that here, Outlook, Nebraska. Very cool. Just got to do a tour there. And they're visually impaired folks. And they do all this cool stuff. There's always somebody that does
There
it.
is always somebody
you should talk to them. They're cool.
Okay. Outlook, Nebraska?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. They're right off of 72nd and F.
So that was COVID. What's another example of a food emergency that we've experienced?
Yeah. So a couple other things that I could say are notable that we've been involved in. It was probably about 2018, and there were some families that got displaced out of their homes due to negligence of the landlord. So they had to move out hundreds of these people into community centers and different things. So
was that the apartments?
You got all these people displaced, and what was really interesting is that before we got involved, there was food going, but they weren't eating it. And part of that was no one really had an understanding of what was culturally appropriate for them. And so we worked with some of the community center partners and said, can we ask them what they want to eat? And that turned into us making gallons on gallons on gallons of fried rice.
We
made tons of fried rice, and we were carrying them out in 5-gallon food safe buckets. And we did that for about 2 weeks, just making trips to the community center, because again, even if people have access to food, they might not always be able to eat it, or they might not know how to prepare it. And so we try to work in that space where, what can we do to make this more self-sufficient for you? Even opening the door for conversation around, what do you eat? Not just here's food, but what do you eat?
That's beautiful.
So that you can have what you eat.
You can actually meet the need, right?
I also think about times when power goes out. So sometimes
regularly here in Omaha with the
we will
storms.
take in people's excess stuff and hold it while they're waiting for power to come back on.
So is that a freezer situation or a fridge situation or both?
Both sometimes. And it just depends, especially with some of our partners, nonprofit budgets are really tight. And so if they were to lose all the stuff that they had, It'd be really hard to come up with that budget again. And so we work with our partners when those situations arise. We work with farmers on flooding or tornado where they have product that maybe they can't sell now because it's slightly damaged. So we may end up with, 25 pallets of strawberries or 1,000 pounds of spaghetti squash.
For
True
real?
story. True
Wow.
story. And so then we have to mobilize and now we got to work with more people to get the food back out because we can't hold it forever. That's the beauty of a food hub. It's not meant to do long-term storage of anything. It's meant to get things in and out.
Okay.
So yeah, those are some.
Okay, so we got the emergency kitchen, we got the commercial kitchen. What else happens in this facility, the food hub?
Yeah, so on the second floor is where a lot of the programming happens. So we have a third kitchen, which we call the kids' kitchen.
Is it a commercial kitchen
as
well?
It is. All of the kitchens in our building are commercially certified.
Okay.
So you can make any legitimized product, I would say, here, and be able to, with the right permits, take it to retail or use it as restaurant food. And so in our kids' kitchen, it was specifically designed to be modified a little bit for youth. So the tables are a little lower so that they could get up and learn like normal with proper form. And so that is the only kitchen that we have that has multiple stations. So there are 6 burner stations and 8 table stations in that space. There's some beautiful artwork in there. And we run our youth and adult programming out of that kitchen primarily because it's best suited for training. There's whiteboard space, there's tables. It's really cool.
Okay, so that's the educational part of the facility. And what else we got going on here?
And then we have our business incubator space. So it's a shared co-working space with conference room. What I love about the conference room,
is that
my favorite
this here?
part, yes, that's right behind the camera.
Okay.
It's a whiteboard room. So some of the best ideas happen in there because you can draw all over the walls and not feel bad about it.
The walls?
The walls.
I
The
gotta try
walls,
that.
the windows.
So the walls are whiteboards?
The walls are whiteboards.
Let's go.
So you can draw all over it. So it's great for meetings. It's great for brainstorming, problem solving. And then we also have like printers and things for, use in the shared space. It's a really nice space. You can book that space if you wanted to.
You book it? You rent it?
You can rent the space.
Any business, any entrepreneur, doesn't have to be in the food industry or culinary or...
Yep, it could just be whatever as long as there's no funny business happening. We vet
not that business.
We vet for funny business. But yeah, if you have, say, a board meeting or you just want to have coffee offsite or something and have collaborative space, we rent that space out.
Okay.
Another unique feature of the space is that we have a mother's room. So one of the other things that came out of that summit conversation is just like, how do we make spaces intentional? So knowing that, being in a traditional office space, right? So if someone is lactating and they've got their milk and they set it right next to your lunch, can be kind of uncomfortable, right? Or, you're having to do that in the bathroom. And so we designed a mother's room specifically for this with its own fridge and its own space. So when we have mothers here with their children doing programming, that's a space that they can get into. Also, we believe in self-care. So if we as staff need to just take a beat, you might go sit in the mother's room. It's pretty chill in there. There's toys and everything. So that's the mother's room. And then the last space on this floor is our Cups Cafe.
Yeah.
So Cups Cafe has had kind of a rough patch since its beginning. We opened in January of 2020 and then shut down in March of 2020.
Tough timing,
because it was just hard to figure out how could we maintain the crisis response and then maybe do like curbside pickup or something. It just didn't make sense. And so the cafe, it's a 40-seat cafe.
It's a beautiful cafe.
Rolling garage door, lots of natural lighting.
Right on Florence Street, or right on, 30th, this is Florence, right?
30th Street.
Yeah.
And it's got a conference room in there, and it's ready to go as a full-service cafe. But currently, we use it mostly for special events and programming. Yeah. We do have a desire in the future to extend our culinary program and make that kind of like an entrepreneurship model where like run a business for however many weeks. So they learn the books and how to do inventory and how to do the service part. because a lot of the people that we come across, they want to potentially start their own businesses versus necessarily go work in a restaurant. And so that experience is crucial, right? Before you start running your own business. So we're looking at different ways to use that as a model apprenticeship type module that we can add on to our certified culinary program.
And that takes us through the main floor. But wait, there's more.
There's more. So up on the rooftop, Pride and Joy.
So the roof is right above us here? Okay.
Yes. Yes. So where we're sitting right now is our main level. Basement level, main level, rooftop.
Okay.
Rooftop, we have
been up there. It's nice.
a rooftop garden.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I am the person in the organization who has like no green thumb, but even I can appreciate this space.
Okay.
Half the time I'm running from bees because we have pollinator plants up there, which are very healthy.
And it produces honey?
They're no honey. No, the bees just move.
Oh, they
just move the pollen from one plant to another.
They pollinate the plants that you have up there.
Yes, yes. And pollinators are super important because without them existing in our ecosystem, nothing grows.
Hold on. How's a pollinator different than a beehive?
Well, a beehive's just a beehive.
Don't
That's
they
where they
a
live.
beehive will produce honey though, right?
Yeah.
What's a
A pollinator is really anything that transfers pollen from one thing to another thing.
Okay, so that's
so
the
you
actual...
need the bees.
Right.
The bee itself.
So you're not harvesting bees.
We're not harvesting bees.
Okay.
No, but I say that because if you go up there and you're a person like me who's like, it's part of the experience. So up there we grow food both for cooking in our programs, for visual aesthetic, but also for education to teach about food growing. And so there's a combination of flowers, there's a combination of herbs and fruit and vegetables. So likely if you were to go up there right now, you're gonna see some leafy greens, so kale, romaine, salad greens, cucumbers, onions grow like crazy up there, tomatoes, and then like just different edible plants and flowers, which is really great. And it's got some outdoor seating, which is really nice. And our fourth kitchen.
Is it commercial?
Our fourth commercial kitchen in the space. Now, there's no heat up there, but there is a grill and there are cooling stations, refrigerators, things like that, sinks. So you can cater off of the roof.
Okay.
We hold events on the rooftop all the time.
Yep, and we'll talk about that.
It's just a great space to learn and play.
That's awesome. And that takes us through the food hub.
What is
the micro market?
Yes. So these two buildings we own, and then we lease property on 30th and Lake at the Highlander Accelerator. And in that building, we have our fifth commercial kitchen, in which we do most of our preparation for our subscription program. We have our micro market. So our micro market, in concept, if we think about all the empty lots that are in different neighborhoods, think about houses that have been torn down. So this micro market is really a beta test to say, we've got these food deserts. What would it be like if we just had these small stores in neighborhoods that people could walk to again, get their basic needs, have a variety of different healthy options. And so our micro market is tucked within a building to kind of test that theory. And so it's about 400 square feet.
Okay.
95% of what's in there is local.
Wow.
We accept SNAP EBT and also participate in Double Up Food Bucks, which is a SNAP EBT program in which you can match dollar for dollar on your fruits and veggies up to $20 a day. So say you come in, buy $20 of fruits and vegetables, I'm going to give you a voucher so you can get $20 free of more fruits and vegetables. So if you are receiving that benefit, if you are on SNAP EBT, it's a good way to really stretch that dollar because it's very finite resource. We have some of the folks that cook in our commercial kitchens make retail products. So like a Dundee popcorn, if you're familiar with her, she makes microwavable fresh popcorn with real butter, and Nebraska corn kernels. So you can get things like that. Big Mama's, we sell all of her goods, so spice blends and flour blends and seasonings and things. So we try to get a combination of supporting our local food businesses. So we don't necessarily feel like we have to make everything. We'd love to contribute to making sure people have more market outlets And then everything else we get straight from the farm on a weekly basis.
So it literally is a micro market.
Yep.
What's the plan? Is there a strategy for multiplication of those micro markets, or are we sticking with just the one?
So we have the one right now. About a month ago, Happy Development announced that they were doing some renovations at Chambers Court, which is off of like 16th and Burdette, just kind of west of Millwork Commons. And it is a multi-unit apartment complex. And within that, they have an amenity space.
Okay.
And we have been asked to open a micro market within that space. So you can expect probably in about 18 months or so, as they haven't started the construction yet. But that will be in that space, and in that space, similar to the space that we have now, we'll have events. I told them I want this to be like the Sur La Table of micro markets.
The what?
Sur La Table.
Who that?
Who that? Sur La Table is this really bougie home goods store. But what I like about it and why I go there, because I'm not buying anything. I'm going to the cooking demos. I'm buying the events.
Okay.
Because I think it's really interesting how they teach you how to make elevated food or to use the products that they're selling. And that's one of the things we come across all the time is like, we are working with people sometimes who don't have a skillet or a pot. Or like myself growing up, I didn't know that you're not supposed to cut tomatoes with a steak knife. Like it was just a knife that was
available, right?
But once someone put a chef's knife in my hand, I was like, I'm like, what? And so, and that's one of those things that I think that experience of a Sur La Table brings. And I am of the belief, I think we at No More Empty Pots, we want people to have elevated experiences.
Right.
You don't need to go anywhere outside of your neighborhood for that, right? And so in that space, because it'll just be a little tad bigger, we hope to do more demos and things. But yes,
I would expect nothing more than an elevated experience. After being through this food hub property, I would expect nothing less.
Yeah.
The excellence here is second to none.
I like how you said that.
I just like being in the space.
It does. It makes it feel, I don't know, progressive. I think that's one thing that our founder was really good about, is thinking about how do we use technology? How do we use the best of what's out there to further the mission?
Right.
Even down to the air conditioning units.
Right.
How do we get the fanciest one so that every room in the building is at the exact temperature that it should be at?
Right.
And so those things, just thinking about it. We also got a Greener Together grant a few years ago and got solar panels put on the hub, which was really cool because for those times when the power does go out, it helps us keep our refrigeration cool. So we're not losing product. And so those solar panels kick in. And it's really neat just seeing, how can we save energy? What are we putting out? What are we taking in? And so, anything we can do to innovate, we love that.
So let's say there's an emergency here, the power goes out.
Yep.
You have not a generator, but you have solar powered energy.
Yep. It's a solar power. It does feed into a generator, but it's all solar. It can be operated from a cell phone app, which is really cool, so we can monitor. So if like for some reason we get a notice like OPPD says the power is out, we can check to see if the solar panels have kicked in, and it should be able to keep power for at least 24 hours.
Wow, that's awesome.
Oh yeah, it makes a huge difference when you're talking about food operations.
Right.
Because normally when the power goes out without that, we tape all the refrigerators and say, don't open.
Right, do not
open. But this helps, especially when we have other businesses renting the space, and some of their livelihood relies on them being able to cook and use the product that they've purchased. So
good, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us a little bit about the value chain concept? Explain that, what it is, how it functions.
Yeah, so value chain, if you think about a supply chain, simply it's getting one thing from here to there. But when you think about a value chain, you start thinking about all the things that are between here and there.
Yeah.
And what does each of those things need to be made whole? So, for example, if we did not use local product and we're just buying, groceries off Amazon, let's say, right? So that initial purchase, one, is kind of into the ether. That dollar we don't know where it goes. It doesn't come back to Omaha or Nebraska. It doesn't come back to any of the people we know or the families we know. And so it doesn't make as much of a difference. And we don't know if that dollar we spent in the ether of Amazon, how that dollar makes a difference. So there's no continuity.
Right.
For us, when we think about value chain, say we start that at the producer level. And so we reach out to a farmer and we want to get ground beef. So we know that when we buy ground beef from this producer, they can tell us everything about how that cow was grown, what they fed it, when it was butchered, how it got here, how it was processed. We have an actual conversation. And through that conversation, we can also learn other things about that producer. So yeah, maybe they're really good at this beef, but they're only selling it to 4 people.
Right.
We have huge networks. So now we can say, okay, we're going to be a purchaser from you, but also we're going to share your information out to all these people. That's adding value.
Right.
That's making us a valued customer, but that's adding value to you as a producer.
It's a win-win relationship.
It's a win-win relationship. And we can trust that product because we can trace it all the way back.
Right.
So now we've got this relationship with the producer. We now have this product. Now we can tell the story not only of the beef and how good it tastes and all the things you can do with it, but we can also tell their story.
Yeah.
Adding value, I think, to the community in terms of building community, right? I think if I was to get a roof from you, like, that's cool. Like, I got a roof from my buddy, and that makes me feel good because I know that I'm helping my buddy do business. So I think it's the same thing when you're enjoying food from people. It's like, oh man, that beef from that person with a name goes so much further. And then when we really talk about more value, because we know where it came from, because it's traveling a shorter distance, because they're using whatever practices they're using, then you've got all the health outcomes that come with that. And so there's, at each of those stops, all the way to the consumer until it's digested, there's so many points of value for them, for us, for the end user. Because oftentimes we're not the end user. We're just kind of the middleman, the pass through. And that dollar just goes back too. So economically, we're keeping it here.
Within the chain. So the chain is actually a closed kinetic chain where it's just circulating within the chain.
Yep.
And benefiting everybody that's linked to the chain.
Linked to the chain.
Before we get into the event, well, we'll talk about the events last, but what's procurement? Did I butcher it?
No.
You're talking about beef.
Not
Did I
as
butcher
bad as my name, but I'm just kidding. So procurement, that is very similar to just purchasing. I think procurement carries a larger weight because when you're doing it, we're doing it very specifically, like whether it is to meet a health need or something very specific for, let's say, Miss Velma, sweet potato pies.
Yeah.
We know that she could go to Walmart or Costco and buy these sweet potatoes. But we know that the person that she gets them from now, Gordon, makes the best sweet potatoes.
Okay.
So we match make is a part of procurement. We do logistics. So that means we receive this product on behalf of our partners, like Miss Velma.
Yeah.
So we might hold it.
Got it.
Become a place of storage, trace that all the way to she gets it. So there is a lot of back and forth that goes with procurement. There's also with using local product, being able to understand trends and things, not only of our own purchasing, but of our partners, so that we can future plan with producers. So to say, here's what we got last year. We think we might need 3 times more than this next year. Can you start planning that so that that's available when it's time to harvest, and we will buy that from you?
Wow.
So I think that procurement, it's an ongoing cycle of conversation, of planning, of understanding needs, especially when you're using local product. Things are seasonal.
Right.
So the squash is going to be crazy for a long time. And right now we're about to go into corn season. So it's like, can you make all your recipes?
Right.
You find corn 52 different ways. And part of that, though, does come back to purchasing. If the chefs are saying, yep, we're going to feature corn all summer long, we need to find corn, but not that corn, this corn, it can get complicated.
That's procurement, an example of Say it for me. Procurement. I can't.
Yep. It's a little different than just browsing online and putting it in the cart,
Gotcha.
which I would say is purchasing.
Okay. Let's talk about some of the core values.
Yeah.
Education, stewardship, and sustainability. How are those incorporated into the mission and to what you guys are doing here?
Yeah, so I think our core values really set the tone for what the mission is. Our mission truly is to leverage local food so that people, the environment, and the economy thrive.
Okay.
And so when we think about that, we look at the work that we do both at an individual level and then at a systems level. We even build our programming to be individuals or families or systems.
Wow.
And so each of the things that we do brings that. We do the education piece, for example. There's formal education and there's everyday education. Both are important, whether we're looking at education to be employable or education to be more self-sufficient at home.
Yeah.
One of the things that I see a lot with like our youth programming is they'll learn new skills. I mean, I feel like I could microwave a hot dog in the microwave at some of these kids' ages, make a PB&J, but they're actually given a knife and learn how to do some very technical things,
Wow.
Of course at a youth level, but then when they go home and they're like, Mom, Dad, Grandma, whomever, like, let's make this together, then you're starting to have impacts in the household.
Right.
And people start changing habits, and that education then goes into, the health piece of being able to feed people better because they want to feed themselves. Right. And now they have some tools to do it. So when I think about education, I think about it twofold. It's definitely education to live and feel better, and education to be gainfully employed or self-employed, right, and make a living wage so that you can engage with food however you want.
Hey. Are you a foodie?
I am a foodie. I am a foodie.
What kind of foodie are we? Where are we going here?
I mean, there's only like a list of 10 things I don't like.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's pretty
That's
simple.
pretty broad.
That's pretty simple. I would say, coming into this job, and in my first role being in marketing, I had to document everything. And one of the things I got to do all the time was be in the kitchen. And so I had to be the taste tester. Because I was just there, right?
Not mad about that.
And so that started expanding my palate and just different ways of thinking about food. I know, like, for me right now, my big kick is Korean barbecue.
Hey.
I've been on this K-drama kick for a while, and every time I see them eating something in one of the shows, I'm like, okay, right.
What's K-drama?
Korean TV dramas.
Oh.
And so I'm writing those things down. I'm trying to figure out where can I find this Omaha, or how do I make it? And so, like, there's this curiosity that's been sparked by being here and seeing, okay, if you can just get the idea, you can learn the skills pretty quick. You don't have to be an Iron Chef to, like, do some of the things that you see happening. I try new places all the time. I travel a lot. So when I travel, I try to go to the neighborhood, as I would say. I try to go off the beaten path, because that food is always better. Right. There's just something about it that's always better. And so when I think about retirement, being a travel foodie is definitely on my list. So if anybody's out there looking for a brand ambassador, I would love to do that when I retire. Food just, if we all need it, it brings people together. I think about, the conversations that can be had over a good meal. I mean, it could solve wars. I swear it could.
Not wrong about that. If you were to look at me and try to guess what my favorite food is,
I don't know. You look like a burger guy. Like a real good burger.
No, you don't know me.
No?
No. Barbecue.
Oh, barbecue.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I knew there'd be
some good barbecue.
I knew there'd be meat involved. So what's your go-to spots in Omaha?
I mean, I know Bones down the street.
Down the street.
You know him?
I don't know him personally, but we have had his food.
Yeah, he's got some good barbecue. So, I mean, I got to go with barbecue.
Barbecue.
10 out of 10 for me.
Have you had Wayne's New School barbecue?
Oh,
man.
Hook me up?
Shout out to Wayne's. Yes.
Wayne's?
Yes.
He can hold it down?
It's right off of, like, 48th and Center.
What are you getting if you go?
In a little strip mall. One of everything.
You can't say that.
But you really kind of do have to, like, dabble.
Okay. Is that what it is? You can go through the line and point?
Even the catfish is good.
Hey.
It's a real small joint. You'll see the smoker right outside. It's right across from, what is that, Beals? Used to be Beals Elementary School. Oh, yeah, it's good.
Okay.
The brisket, the beans are good, the
Hey.
sausages.
Hey.
And they're like
All right,
snappy
enough.
and splits them in.
Enough. We got to get on with this. It's about lunchtime.
He asked. You asked. Sorry, I'm breaking the fourth wall.
Oh, you're good. Lastly, you have a bunch of upcoming events.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
I mean, there's several of them, and I can't wait to talk about them. The first one is going to be what? The Supper Club?
Supper Club.
I'm starving now that we've been talking about it, so why don't you tell us about the Supper Club?
Yeah, so Supper Club is a series that was designed really to help highlight the entrepreneurs that we have in the space, giving them an opportunity to share their food with others, but also bring community together. When we were shut down for COVID, we kind of extended that for like 3 years, and we just really didn't have people in the space anymore. And so this was one of the ways that we thought we could bring people. So you'll have a combination of, it's a ticketed event.
Okay.
So anybody can come.
It's here at the Food Hub?
It's here at the
on the
Food Hub,
rooftop?
on the rooftop.
Let's go.
Weather permitting.
Hey.
Weather permitting, but yeah, on the rooftop. It's usually a 4 to 5 course meal.
And this legit, right? This ain't
yeah, it's legit. And we're leveraging local food producers, leveraging local food product. But one spin that we're putting on this year is we're also going to feature some of our own chefs on staff.
Okay.
So they'll be a part of the menu as well. So usually there'll be about 2 to 4 different entrepreneurs in our staff combined to pull off the meal.
Okay.
It is normally family style and not served as it's part of the community aspect to it. We don't want it to feel too stuffy, right?
Yeah. We want to loosen up our ties.
Because the main thing
roll
is
our
like,
sleeves up.
are you licking the fingers at the end? Are you enjoying the
Right.
conversation? And we'll have live entertainment.
Will that be the $2 chucks?
Oh, no.
Okay.
But we have done a supper club before. But no, we have an up-and-coming artist. Her name is Ashley Strubing.
Okay.
She's actually part of a really big ensemble. But she'll be here doing a solo act on Saturday.
Okay, so that's July 18th.
July 18th. And I just found out we sold out.
Ooh, let's go.
We sold out.
That's a beautiful thing.
First time ever.
Let's go.
So get your tickets for September 26th.
Okay, so not for July 18th, but the second one's September 26th. You got to get them while they're
And if there's demand.
Are they available now? And
yes,
how do they get them?
Those tickets are available. You can get to the link through either Facebook or go straight to Eventbrite.
No More Empty Pods, Facebook,
Yep.
Eventbrite, got it.
Yep.
Okay.
All of our events are always posted on Eventbrite.
Meet the Producers, last Saturday of the month from noon to 2.
Yeah.
What's that?
So Meet the Producer is a cool event. Part of this is the education component. We wanted to bring in folks that are making the food, growing the food, or doing some type of ag or garden or urban gathering.
Give me an example of who's going to be here.
Yeah, so we've got 2 upcoming. This one in July is the Healing Vibes Urban Garden. I'm really excited to meet the founder, LaToya. She seems really, really cool. That's going to be noon to 2, and she's going to bring in some stuff to make soap. From scratch.
So herbs, right?
Yep. So there's going to be a demo. She's going to talk about, what does it mean to have an urban farm? What does it look like to bring people in community together to grow? And so it's also an opportunity for them to talk about what they've got going on, how they see the space, how we as a community can better be involved in those things. And there's always samples of some sort. So this time it happens to be, you're going to get some soap that you get to make. Next month we have during Highlander Community Day, so it's going to be on the 22nd.
Okay.
Same place, same time in the micro market, but we're going to have Omaha Sunflower Co-op, Stephanie Finklia from there.
Stephanie, I know the Finklias.
Yep. So she's going to be
bringing
her charm. I don't know what her sample will be yet, but she'll be in there talking about urban farming, talking about the Sunflower Co-op.
Okay.
So you can meet Stephanie if you haven't met her. Super cool.
Yeah.
And so she'll be in the space as well.
Okay. Next event, Open Omaha, August 8th from 10 to 4.
Yes, Open Omaha will be right here in the Food Hub. It'll be an interactive experience, so we'll have activities and workshops and different things going on during that time. So you'll be able to really see the building kind of being in use, so to speak, and that'll be great. We'll have some produce giveaways and things like that. And so, yeah, come check it out. It's a
Yeah.
good time. If you've never been in the food hub, it'll be an opportunity to really see the whole space.
Yeah. Lastly, the garden walk on August 15th.
Yes, yes. So the garden walk is put on by one of our neighbors, Pam Berry, and it is kind of an interactive experience all along 30th Street.
So up and down Florence Boulevard or whatever.
Yep, it's 30th.
Okay, 30th.
Yep, just 30th. And so there's just different organizations that you'll see. There's about 10 listed. If you can go on our website to see the flyer, but they'll walk all along 30th Street, drive along 30th Street, ending, I believe, at the Florence Mill is the last stop.
Okay.
And we are one stop on that tour. And so again, we'll have the building open.
Okay.
We hope to have artists and makers outside boothing, so it'd be an opportunity to see some local artists. And then, as mentioned earlier, my band, Deuce
This
Buck
is
Chuck.
when you all show up. It's
Deuce
at the
Buck
garden
Chuck,
walk.
We show up at the garden walk.
What
It'll
time?
Be our first morning.
What time y'all gonna?
The garden walk's 9 to noon,
Okay.
but we'll be playing from 10 to 12.
Let's go, rocking the house.
Yeah, it'll be cool. We're gonna curate a whole new set list for it. I'm excited.
Hey.
I've never played a morning show.
Hey, just
So
kind of
hopefully it doesn't catch me like he caught me when we met. Like,
get some coffee. You got your coffee shop right here. You got to get some coffee early.
So we'll have events, and that'll be really cool. Pam is really thoughtful about how she makes this whole tour. So if you haven't been in North Omaha and seen the different community gardens that exist,
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a good opportunity. Hopefully it's not extremely hot, so that people can stay safe.
It'll be in the morning though. But as we end the podcast, do you want to give them a little demo what they're going to be hearing from Deuce Buck Chuck at the garden walk on August 15th?
A little demo.
Little demo.
You
Little-
always give
little
me.
vocal. Let's go.
I should have had something in my back.
You knew I was going to
pocket.
bring it.
I should have.
Little Deuce Buck Chuck.
I'm glad
Come on.
he can edit this. Hold on. Trying to think of something that will do.
Just one bar, one line, whatever you say. One.
Last time what did I do?
You
Lady
did.
Gaga?
Yes. You can
'Cause
give me some of that.
We were just learning Shallow.
Yep.
Nah, I can't hit him with the Shallow.
Hit him with something.
Looking out on the morning rain.
Oh, snap.
I used to feel so uninspired.
That's beautiful.
When I knew I had
Keep
to
going.
face another day. Lord, you made me feel so tired. For the day I met you, life was so unkind. But you're the key to my peace of mind. 'Cause you make me feel,
I love it.
you make me feel like an angel.
Woo!
Is that enough?
Thank
One
you
bar?
so much.
I don't even know if I remember the words right. It's
No,
still,
you hit it. You
we're
hit
just
it.
getting over the noon hump.
Well, I appreciate you. And thanks for being on the Nick and Nick podcast.
Yeah, 100%.
Proud of you guys. You guys are making an impact in the community and doing it in excellence.
Thank you.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Thanks again. And thank you, Royalty Roofing and Siding. And for our audience, if you haven't subscribed to the Nick and Nick podcast, follow us, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
You're welcome.